Good morning guys, it is the 11th of October and today is the Outlaw Craft Fair day. I've come here quite early, maybe 40 minutes before it's actually going to open. Yes, I'm a bit of an eager beaver this morning. Anyway, yeah, basically if you get in, the first 25 will get like a cool little tote bag of goodies, and this is the first time like I've actually properly, you know, just come along to a craft fair as a normal person. So I am going to take advantage of all the stuff that I normally miss on from actually having to exhibit at these fairs. So anyway, I am really excited about showing you around. There are a lot of people who I will probably know who are exhibiting here, so I'm hoping it's going to be fun and you guys are going to enjoy seeing what people are making down here. Also, what's coming up in over the next couple of months, I'm hoping to have some creative conversations with people who do design or illustration, so that'll be cool. And maybe I'll be able to pick up some people here and see if they would be interested in doing that with me. Anyway, that's a little aside. Let's get on with going to the fair. come back from Outlaw and guess what? I managed to get my free tote. Only the first 25 got these, so you had to be early to get in there. So have a look at what is inside. First of all, I want to say this has been designed by Katie Pillinger and has been screen printed by Fiona Layton. So both of them are makers and they're both actually at the fair and have stalls there as well. So let's have a look. We have a My Cornwall magazine and a little offer for My Cornwall magazine. There is also your guide to Christmas in Cornwall. That's pretty handy to have a look at what's going on over Christmas. Then we have some lovely little makes. I know Pamela, she makes all of these by hand. She does a lot of paper goods. If you look at her stall, it is all of the stuff you see is made out of paper. It's quite incredible. Now these two cards I recognise as well. They were done by Particle Press, which is Fiona Layton, and I think these might be screen printed or they might just be printed. This one might be screen printed. And she does a lot of homewares. She's actually just launched a birdie range which she has digitally printed onto fabric and then has been making them into aprons and cushion covers, tea towels. There's a really gorgeous range. It was actually inspired by, she did 100 Days of Birds on Instagram. And finally, this little pot by Bloom Remedies. I think they are based in Falmouth. She makes all of her stuff by hand and it's all organic. So it's really nice. Let's have a look inside. If we had smell camera, this is where it would work. So it smells of lavender, rosemary and thyme. So this is a hand balm, so let's have a look. It'll be very nice as well. So yes, check out them. Outlaw this year also had something called Emerging New Businesses. So they basically were able to offer businesses that hadn't been in business that long a subsidised table, and I think that was really good because it meant that, you know, people who are maybe new to the business and just trying to see if this is right for them, they're able to have a good experience. I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about some of those businesses that I met. So the first one up is Rock and Saltwater. They draw inspiration from the natural beauty of West Cornwall and the sea. What I really love about them is that they had a really strong colour palette. You can see that they just use like blues, greys, and then the mustard yellow. I just really think the product range stands well together and looks really attractive, and I can imagine it going down well selling in shops in and around the UK. The second business that I really loved was Mel's Studio. They are a duo and they partner together to run their business. It's like a paper stationery business. They make everything by hand, and they make notepads, notebooks, and cards. They hot foil as well, so their colour palette is quite neutral and pastel, and then they just use the hot foil to just kind of give a bit of embellishment and a bit of luxury to their product. Again, I loved their stand. It was so beautifully laid out. I really liked the little plant that they had before it added to their overall brand identity. The third business that again is a new business is run by a guy called Chris Porter. His business is called ICC. He's actually a designer, and I do know him through working at Kingdom and Sparrow, but I didn't know that he had started his own range of pins and patches until maybe a couple of weeks ago, and so I was really excited to see what he had on show, and he didn't disappoint. His stand was like just brilliant. I just loved the aesthetic he had. He carried it through his props, and his style is spot on. He's got a very simplistic, minimalistic kind of style, but his goods are also really quite quirky, and so he just sells patches and pins, and again his packaging is really good. It really complements his products really well. Make sure you check out all of those. I really loved seeing them and talking to them and hearing about their design process. So as I said, if you go onto the Outlaw website, you can see all of the makers who are at the event, so that you can go back and look at their websites, and if you want to buy stuff, just go online. So I think what made this event though stand out from other craft fairs was the other stuff that they had around the event. So it wasn't just store holders, you also had a demo theatre. So every hour or so they had like maker basically share their knowledge and skills on one of their crafts. So alongside the demo theatre, they also had something called the Make and Take Theatre. Absolutely free, anyone could come and take part in them. And again, this happened every hour or so, where you would have one of the stall holders actually come and again lead you through a kind of workshop. They also held workshops, and these went a lot more in depth, and you had to actually book in advance. They again provided, you know, people who really were into crafting with a chance to experience and be taught by someone who actually knew what they were talking about. And so you could learn to do lino cutting, there was a lampshade making workshop, textile stitching workshop, and the prices range from 15 to 25, and you'd spend like maybe a couple of hours actually doing these workshops, and they ran alongside the actual day. Not only did you have the store holders, these workshops, you know, demos, make and take, you also had a pop-up cafe which was serving lots of lovely cakes, and then, you know, your coffee, your tea, I think there was panini, sandwiches, and then outside there was more stalls like food stands, and also a food court as well, which was across the way. So there was plenty of stuff to keep you occupied, which was really good. If I had the time to stay there all day, I probably would have. There was lots of things to entertain you with, and if you're really into art, craft stuff, then you would have loved being there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Outlaw Craft Fair review, and I've been able to convey a bit about what it was like. I know that they're hoping to continue doing their events, so just check out the website. If you are local and you're in Cornwall, check out their website and see what they've got going on. The people who organise it, Judy and Kirsty, are super friendly and really nice ladies, so they would be open to you talking to them or asking what was going on. Also, if you want to see more of the actual fair, if you go on Instagram and look at #BecomeAnOutlaw 2017, then you will see all the photos that people are posting of the fair. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye!